Can Manchester United make it a three-horse race for the title? Michael Carrick hasn't ruled that out despite being 13 points behind Arsenal, albeit with a game in hand. Here's what he's had to say ahead of their trip to Newcastle United tonight.
Just threw that one in as well, don't you now? No, listen, you can't rule anything out in football, right? But we know we've got to be realistic and know where it's at. I think we just got to try and keep winning games and see where there's above us now. There's two fantastic teams. There's some really good teams in and around us. So we've had a good run. We're certainly not getting carried away. And we got to be patient. We got to be living in the moment a little bit. Certainly take the confidence. Wherever that's going to take us, we'll just have to see. But he definitely glasses, half full, and what you can achieve more than the negative side. That's for sure. But yeah, of course, I'm being realistic about it. We have to win. We have to win a lot of football matches for that to happen. So we'll do what we've been doing really, and go one at a time. And we've got one now, and then we've got a little bit of a break before Villa. So we'll go give us everything for Wednesday night.
So on Manchester United winning the title, Jamie O'Hara gave Manchester United a 1 out of 10, so 10% chance. Yeah, Opta have given them a 0.01% chance of winning the title. Carrick didn't rule it out, though.
Yeah, well, of course he's not going to rule it out, is he? He's a Man United manager. You never rule out winning the title. That's the ambition of that football club, and he's done a great job. When I heard the comments, I thought, is he talking about next season? Next season, I wouldn't rule it out. I really wouldn't. I think they can be really strong. I think if he gets the job, they sign some good players, and yeah.
You have said that you can envisage him winning the title for Manchester United in the future, haven't you?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I definitely can.
On this show.
I think he's a very good manager. I said it early doors. He's got a great backroom staff. He knows the club. He's done a really good job. But they're playing one game a week, and they're doing well right now. Next season's different. They're going to be in 4 competitions. They'll finish third. Man United will finish third. But for them to, for them to talk about winning the title, not only have they got to win every single game, well, Arsenal and Man City have got to fall apart. That's not going to happen. They're not going to. Arsenal are not going to lose 3 games. I just don't see that happening. They're not going to lose 3 games. Man City are not going to go and lose 3 games. That they can get closer to them by keep winning. But I've seen Arsenal's running. Apart from the Man City game, it's actually quite. You'd expect them to win most of them. I know they've got a tough game against Brighton coming up. I think is that tonight. They've got Brighton tonight. Tough game.
Yes, tonight. Yeah.
But after that, the Man City game, I don't see Arsenal really dropping many points. So I just think it's between Man City and Arsenal. No one else is in this title race. Man United have done a great job, and they'll finish third. And I think Carrick will get the job.
OK, well, let's speak to Manchester United fan Bradley Tooth now. Bradley, do you think you can win the title?
Well, I'd be lying if I said yes. I think Carrick's answer was the absolute perfect answer for the club and the players. Ultimately we're building for next season. But when you were talking before about how to get the Tottenham players working when they're at a bit weak mentality, we're in a situation now where we've had a poor mentality last season. We're in a good space. He's got the players believing. You're right, we've only got a game every single week and everyone else has got to drop points. But why not say, well, I can't rule it out because technically if we win all the games, but actually I'm realistic. So I'm not going to rule it out. We want to try and instill the belief, keep going. And then the players there are looking, well, if we have a full season of this next season, just like Jamie says, we could win the league. So it's telling all the players there, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, who might be looking at going somewhere else if things aren't great. It's telling them, stick with it, because next year we'll be in the mix.
How shocked would you be if you don't make the Champions League this season?
I'd be really shocked. I think we're in the box seat for it at the moment. I think what I'm loving is the adaptation during the games of how the team's playing. We were told that the team has to play a set way. Well, actually, we're dropping off. We're pushing high. We're adapting mid-game. The tactics, Sesko in, Sesko out, Ahmad in, Sesko out, all that stuff. It's really, really positive. And we haven't had to search far and wide for the answer that's there. We've given someone who knows the club the job, and he's doing a great job. And he's an Englishman, so it's positives.
Do you think, I'm looking at next season with Manchester United. I think Carrick will probably end up getting a job because I don't see the form dropping. I don't see the form dropping off. So it'd be crazy to not give him the job with the players, on his side and playing well. Next season, you're in 4 competitions. That is where we're going to see Michael Carrick then, rotating the squad. Have you got the players? Do you need to sign? Who do you need to bring? Who can you keep? Because at the moment you're playing 1 game a week and it's great, and that's lovely for Man United and the players because it's the same 11. But when you start changing it and you've got to rotate, that's when it becomes difficult.
Exactly, but that's where you've got to look at the accountability to the ownership and the structure above him. Carrick's been brought in to bring the best out of those players. Now, the players are brought in by the leadership structure. If Carrick's part of that leadership structure and he brings players in, the leadership structure have to be held accountable if they do well, if they don't. Carrick's got to get the results on the pitch, but you're absolutely right. We've got to bring the right characters in. And there's a big job to be done in the summer. We know Casemiro's been great for us this season. He's on his way out. We need to replace. We're now playing a formation that we were told we couldn't play, and we got rid of a lot of wingers. So we need to find a bit more width. So with 4 competitions, if we're flying high, we'll need backup in those situations or people who are going to push. So losing out on Semenyo in the January transfer window might come back to bite us, because there's not a plethora of wingers out there that can take that elevation. So we do need to invest. It's a big summer.
OK, yeah, and a big night away at Newcastle United tonight. Bradley, thank you.
Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire went off on Sunday, whenever it was. Are they available for tomorrow?
Well, we're hoping so. We're working towards it. They weren't feeling too good, so we've still got a bit of time to the game, and we'll just have to see how they feel. So we'll obviously give them every chance.
I mean, is it kind of illness? Neither of them were injured or anything like that?
No, it wasn't injury, no. They just both of them weren't feeling too good. So yeah, it's one of them things really, but we'll just have to see how they are today and tomorrow morning.
Just in terms of the form of the team, which has obviously been outstanding. When you were here with Ollie, obviously the team did very well, and then there was a drop-off towards the end of the season. And when you were at Middlesbrough, you also did really well at the start, and then the results didn't match that at the end of the season. You didn't achieve what you wanted to. Is there any way of guarding against that?
Football's a tough game to get results anyway, so I think yeah, of course they're learning. I learn, always learning and things that as you go through, and you could maybe have done a little bit different, done a little bit better, not specifically at them times, just in general really. So yeah, there's a lot of context and depends on the players, the group of players, what the games all look like. There's so many different things coming into it. I think it's not so much guarding against it. I think it's just living in the moment and staying in the moment and keep grounded, and down to earth in terms of understanding what it takes to win games. And I've said that since I kind of came here, and not getting carried away. And we certainly won't get carried away. I think you got to feed off the confidence and understand that runs of wins are hard to come by, but we're hungry for more for sure, and we need to try and make it as long as it can last and stay consistent.
Sorry to take you back to a subject that's been hot this weekend, grappling inside the penalty area, Michael. Has it gone too far, and do you think anything can be done about it? What can be done?
I think it's gone too far, yeah. I think it wasn't long ago where we were kind of told that you couldn't really lay a hand on anybody in the box, and it was going to be stamped kind of out and clamped down on. And it's crept in, it's gone stronger. I think obviously the success of set pieces, corners in particular, probably in terms of being able to put so many bodies close together, has made more teams do it, because the success rate is so high, So it's understandable why there's so many teams trying it and doing it. But yeah, in terms of as a game, and it doesn't feel that we've kind of got that balance right. So I don't know what is to do about it. It's not for me to decide that really, but in the meantime, you got to deal with what's in front of you, and if it's allowed, then you got to play to it.
Just on the game itself at Newcastle, you're obviously in confident mood now. you, the players, everything. The fans talk about Champions League qualification. It's very much in your own hands now, isn't it? You've got 10 games to go, and you've got to play the likes of Villa, Chelsea, Liverpool. That's a big plus for you, isn't it?
Yeah, again, not looking too far ahead in terms of the games and where we're trying to get to. I think it's really important that we stay present and keep our minds on the job. It's an incredibly tough place to go to get a result. Newcastle, been there many times and know it well. So we're fully aware of that. So I'm not really looking. We haven't had conversations about it. We're not looking too far ahead. We understand this where we are. I think it was a good step for us at the weekend there, and there'll obviously be a good boost that comes from that. Whether that's energy wise, whether that's confidence wise, and just total belief from it. But it doesn't mean that we can start ifs and buts further down the line. I think we're in a good position, and we've kind of earned it. Boys have earned it, and we've got to try and make the most of it from now on in.
Michael, you now have the best form of any team in the league since you took over. Have you surprised yourself with what this team's achieved, given it's the same group of players that were here before?
I wouldn't use the word surprise. I think we always strive to win games, and as I've just said, understanding that it's difficult. But again, not looking too far ahead. I think if you stay, every game's winnable. I think both teams will come into it and think the same thing. If you can stay that and go step by step, try and be consistent with it, and then we feel we give ourselves a chance to doing that. I think coming in at the start, it was quite quickly one game at a time again, and I think that's the only way. It's when you're in it and you live in it and you've got to perform, and the boys have got to be in a good frame of mind to be able to put performances together. I think the only way to do it and give yourself the best chance is to stay in the moment, and it's for everybody else to get involved in the discussions maybe of what ifs and buts and bigger picture type of thing. It's not for us right now, and we're happy. We're happy with the way things have gone. Still think we can do certain things better, which is a really good place to come from, but winning games is a good feeling, a good habit to have, and got to keep staying hungry with that.
There was so much discussion.
Talk from you ahead of the Manchester United game, and those words, get into them. Is that going to be the similar sort of message against Manchester United tomorrow night? And also, is this the type of game, weirdly like you were referring to, where we would see the best of Newcastle United under the lights against a side in form like Manchester United?
Well, hopefully. That's not a given. You've got to create that yourself. So every time that we've done that previously has been with the intention from the players to be that team. I think that's always our intention in every game, is to get into them, to be aggressive, to play on the front foot, to be a proactive team rather than a reactive team. I think that's always in our psychology. That's always what we want to be, and hopefully we can be that team again.
Thanks, Andy. Alistair, look north.
Hi, Eddie. Manchester United are a different proposition to maybe what they were a couple of months ago. What do you think Michael Carrick's done to make them so much better, so much harder to play?
Well, I think he's tweaked things tactically. I think he's looks like he's built a really good atmosphere there, and I think then players in a good atmosphere will play better. So I think it's been real positive for them. You can see a big upturn in their general performance. I think they're statistically good in terms of attacking output, defensive output. So I think they've got some really good players. It's going to be a great game for us and a great opportunity for us at home to rediscover our best form.
You've spoken about the disappointment at conceding so many goals at home this season. Have you been able to figure out, I guess, why that's happening? Is it some sort of structural thing, or a concentration thing, or a luck thing, or just how it goes?
Well, I don't think it's all season. Early season we were excellent defensively. We were right up there with Arsenal as one of the best teams in all aspects and all metrics. We've certainly had a downturn in the last sort of 8 games, I would say, probably coinciding with, I'm not making this as an excuse, but some big absentees in our back line, which is don't think's helped us. But also then you have to look at the team we have, and I still think the team we have is a very good team, that we have to defend better as a team, and so the real focus then is on every player to contribute to that effort.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go with Damien, George, and then Dom, please.
Hi, Eddie. You spoke on Saturday about the inconsistent Premier League form being one of the prices you had to pay for European football. When you look at the difficulties Newcastle and Aston Villa have had playing in those competitions over the last 3 years, is it almost impossible for a club outside of the traditional top six to compete at that level on all fronts at the moment?
I don't like the word impossible regarding what we can achieve, because I think that then gives everyone a way out and an excuse, really. I think it's difficult.